Hey everyone, this is Lumen Fox here, otherwise known as Lulu. Uh, we are going to be covering R/Suddenly Lesbian today. When a living lamp gives you a kiss, Matilda Bishop? See, she's so adorable. She reminds me of a D&D character of mine that I got commissioned, who is herself um, a moth girl. Kind of like this girl here. My moth girl character, she's really short. Um, so she's very small. But she's adorable. Every time I see a moth girl, um, I immediately think of her. And honestly, this would be something that she might fall for, and it'd be adorable. I think this is adorable and wholesome. It's so cute. Funny coming out story. I was nervous when coming out to my parents as lesbian. When I did, they didn't say anything at all. They just acted like everything was normal, so I repeated. Then my mom said this with a straight face. I already knew. My mom, my hero. Yeah, it's, it's it's funny sometimes just when stuff like that happens, of just like, because there are some people that you just know before they even tell you. And it's nice that you just you don't say anything until they feel comfortable telling you, because that can be such an uncomfortable. It's just because you realize it doesn't mean that person's comfortable coming out to you. Um, I know it's also sometimes doesn't mean they're ready to come out. Period. I know I had a friend of mine ask if I was trans long before I figured it out myself. So people knew I was before I knew I was. Um, and it was very entertaining when I did finally come out. And he was just like, "Yep, called." He was pretty much like, "Yep, called it." And it was. I I don't talk to him anymore, unfortunately. But they were a really good friend, and I miss talking to them sometimes. Fire is not the only thing that's bending. Soon the Earth Kingdom will be ours, and then the entire world. Wow, that. Wow, Azula, you're kind of evil. That's hot. I said that out loud, didn't I? uh, that I never really quite got the uh falling in love with like the evil villainess. That was it is just, for me that tends to kill the vibe rather than enhance it, I guess. I know what's about this woman, but she triggers the inner lesbian in women. That's if I'm not mistaken, that was Rhea Ripley. I've heard a lot of comments about a lot of people thinking she's very pretty. Honest, honestly, she is, but not my favorite of the WWE wrestlers, like appearance wise. She plays a heel, and I think that sort of plays into the same thing I said when commenting to the little comic with the Zula. But um it's I definitely get, because she has sort of that goth look to her, and yeah, but I need I need explaining. I think this fits here. Can you explain something to me? Sure. What's up? I wish I was a lesbian, and I'm not even a girl. Why? Is this because of Anna? No, it's been like this for a few months, since before I started crushing on Anna. Oh, well, aren't you a girl sometimes? And I looked into this post a little bit before starting this video, and turns out OP is trans, and just figured that out. And it is very cool to see just someone's egg cracking moment. Um, and it sounds like it was in a much better time than a lot of me and my IRL trans friends. A lot of us were like middle of an important exam and just had the freaking identity crisis of just like, oh my god, what the frick? Um, but it's nice that someone was able to figure themselves out. It it a lot of times it takes time and takes learning. Sometimes it takes learning about others to figure out who you yourself are. I know for me, I didn't really start considering myself to be trans until I started learning more about trans people, and I didn't start learning about, or I didn't start figuring out that I was non-binary until I started taking the effort to learn about them. Um, and it's it's one of those things of I never really felt comfortable. Itch. I never really felt comfortable as myself before, and never really knew why. But when I started learning about, um, really it started kicking off. Well, I think I've mentioned this story in probably in every one of my meme videos so far. But I really figured myself out from uh, first it was just like a bunch of my friends came out to me as trans, and I started that's I started learning and exploring some of the stuff they shared with me. That's when I started some realizing something was off, and they helped that's that and they helped with learning about their experience. Helped, and it's just like, oh yeah, I feel kind of similar, but it still doesn't quite feel right. And it wasn't until I started learning about non-binary people that I was like, oh, this fits me. This fits how I feel. And it and then I started exploring different non-binary identities, and that's kind of where I ended up today, where I'm a trans-femme Demi-Girl. It wasn't until I learned about those labels that I really figured out that's what I was. It took learning from others to figure out the words and the ways to express myself, how I felt. That's definitely how that works, definitely. Pro tip, if watching Lil Nas X's video turns your kids gay, just show them WAP and change them back. Since evidently that's how you think this whole thing works, you fucking moron. Instructions unclear. My child is now bisexual. That's funny. Uh, yeah, no, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. It chant if something quote unquote turns somebody gay, they likely already were. They just hadn't realized it yet. Hi y'all, I had a question. So I can find guys attractive but never do it with them. But I can find girls attractive and would do it with them. I'm gender fluid, by the way. But what's my preference? I thought it was a lesbian, but I don't know. So you can recognize somebody's physically attractive without necessarily being attracted to them, but this does sound like you are actually attracted to them. So what this kind of sounds like to me would be using the terms biromantic but homosexual, or quote unquote homosexual. It's like I've kind of been playing with this idea myself. You could say biromantic but lesbian, and it kind of gets the point across. I've been kind of debating this myself with being demi-romantic, because I kind of have had crushes on dudes before, but it's pretty much always guys I already know and I'm friends with. And I don't ever really have a quote unquote love at first sight. Um, I I generally go like, oh, she's cute, and then try to get to know them. Um, so for me, that's the romantic bit. For so it you can have a difference in attraction romantically and physically. There are people that experience this that are asexual but are still romantic. They may be heteroromantic, uh, homoromantic, biromantic, panromantic, whatever, but they're just not sexual. And the inverse is actually true. There's a guy on YouTube I watch. I'm forgetting his name now. He does a bunch of shorts about character design in League of Legends and a few other video games as well. And um, he's a romantic, but not asexual. I forget specifically what, because I think he said what his preference that is, what his sexual preference is, but he's just aromantic. Um, if you can have those, why can't you have a difference of romantic and sexual attraction in other ways? So this to me sounds like one of those situations of, it sounds like this person might have a difference between what they're romantically attracted to and sexually attracted to. Lesbian comic Mira. I adore Mira. That is such a good webcomic. If you have Webtoon and you haven't read Mira yet, you really should read Mira. It is such an adorable webcomic. They're so cute together. I love them. Correction, she wasn't gay. Bruh. Goth Girls got me acting unwise part 2. I'm not gay. Wink. Bruh. Egg IRL? Fucking hilarious. We start out with both of us boys, so we were gay. Then turns out you were actually a girl, so we're straight. Now I might be a girl, so we might be gay again. That is funny. That is great. I don't know what it is, but like, people that are trans that don't know it yet have a weird way of finding each other. Like, me and all my friends all uh found found each other in high school, and like, it was several years after we became friends that we all started figuring out we were trans. It's freaking weird. It's great. It's funny though. Health, healthy femininity, good reasons to get stronger. Left girlfriend, left wife. Someday I hope, protect women, intimidate men. See, this is healthy masculinity. No, no, it's not. This is me being a lesbian. I feel that. I am. So, like, since starting HRT and since, like, figuring everything out, like, particularly since starting HRT, I've had more of a drive to work on, like, my strength and my physical, like, I've had some, I guess a little bit my physical appearance, but just, like, in particular, my strength and gaining muscle. since starting HRT, which which contradict each other, funnily enough. Just because it's like, oh, now that I'm actually starting to become more feminine, I want to be the strong girlfriend. uh, it's like I used to play in like superhero campaigns, and a lot of my characters would be characters with super strength. They'd be girls with super strength, and like a lot of people thought like, oh, you want it, that must be the type of girl you want, and it's like since then it's just like no, that's more so that's the type of girl I want to be. So yeah, this is totally unexpected for me. Baldur's Gate 3 just keeps getting better. If I remember correctly, Shadowheart actor Jennifer English meets her girlfriend on set of. Did so they met from the production of Baldur's Gate 3? That's adorable. I have heard before. I was forgetting who it was, but I knew one of the VAs. I'm pretty sure it was one. Yeah, well, obviously now, yeah, it's one of the VAs that's part of the LGBT community. Baldur's Gate 3 is just it's I really adore the game. It has a lot of thought and love put into it. Um, and like I played Divinity Original Sin 2 before Baldur's Gate 3 came out. Um, and I enjoyed that game, so I already knew that Larian was a good game development studio. And Baldur's Gate 3 only doubled down on that. And there's just so much, it feels like there's so much love they put into their projects and so much attention to detail that you don't see in a lot of games. Even like sometimes you'll see it in indie games, but big budget games, at least nowadays, it really feels like it's lacking. And just also the representation in Baldur's Gate 3. I adore the game. There's a reason why I'm playing it on the channel, and it's one of the first games I chose to play on the channel. The two games that I chose to play on this channel is really because like Terraria was like one of the big games that started me into playing computer games. And then Baldur's Gate 3 is just I adore so much about the game, and it's just I love the game so much that I just couldn't help but share that love for the game. My laptop was boring, so today I spammed it with stickers. There's a bunch of really cool stickers on here. There's a bunch of cool stickers on here. There's battery with the trans flag. The syringe with the trans flag. I wish I had this many cool stickers. I just finally started getting to the point where I felt comfortable adding them to stuff. Cause like before I was like, oh, but what if I get rid of the object that the sticker is on, or what if I don't like the sticker on it later, yada yada yada. I just started putting stickers on my computer case because I figured at this point I've had this case for several years now. I've had this case longer than I've known that I've been trans. So I figure I can start putting stickers on it. I may make a post about it, showing a picture of it because I currently have a rainbow diamond and a non-binary pride heart on it. But I think this is going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and to ring that bell. That's all for today. Bye-bye!